We have just closed one of the best November months in the history of the stock market, guys. What's up? It's Will back with another one, traders and investors. Today, we're going to cover the continuation of the stock market rally as we conclude the month of November here with another nice day in the markets. Here's some beautiful rotation to be had. SPY was up 0.39%. QQQ slightly down as big tech did pull back, but was largely made up for the gains in financials and healthcare, guys. This is exactly what you want to see. When big tech is pulling back, you need to see support from our other big indexes, and they performed well in a very big way today, guys. So we're going to do our monthly recap now that the month of November is finished. We also have two earnings for you. We're going to do Salesforce, and we are going to do DollarTree that came out yesterday, both of them coming out yesterday as well. And we are going to cover the major indexes on the technical basis, of course, our major tech names, and briefly look into the Tesla CyberTruck release, guys. So without further ado, guys, a lot to cover in today's video, so let's get right into it. We've recapped the percentages. SPY up 0.39%, QQQ down 0.25%. The market was a very, very well-balanced day. As you can see, big tech taking a well-deserved breather after leading this rally up, and the rest of the market making up for it, guys. Very beautiful gains in healthcare and financials as well here. So as you can see on the one-day relative performance, everything in the green here except for technology and communication services. I'll remind you, communication services, just largely a byproduct of Google and Meta here. So where do we stand currently, guys? We are positioned very, very, very well. Let me get you the headline. This was one of the best November gains on record. The index has gained more than 8%, fewer than 10 times since 1928. You can see they did it a few years ago here back in 2019, and they did it again here in 2023. So very, very beautiful performance. Actually, my mistake, 2020, the year of the recovery post-pandemic here. You can see this only happens a handful of times. So if you were saying that this was a heck of a rally, you would be right, guys. One of the best months of November on record after a brutal past 3 months. So you love to see it. So before we get into more of our technical analysis on the indexes and do our monthly recap candles here, let's get into our earnings right away. And we're going to start off with a banger here, Salesforce. Salesforce absolutely crushing earnings here. Very good report by them. You can see on the daily now massively overbought, RSI all the way up to 86 pretty much. And the earnings, let's get right into it, guys. They beat on EPS, they beat on revenue, but the main thing was a decent return to profitability. Let me put this on a quarterly basis. You can see that in the past years, right, they've been struggling with dwindling profitability, and that was a byproduct of rising costs. So they've been doing a great job in the past 2 quarters of mitigating those rising costs by cutting employees and cutting in-house costs as well. And you can see the profit margins have largely recuperated here in the last 2 quarters, back up to their standard 14-15% range after struggling to maintain profitability in the quarters prior. So very, very decent return to profitability by Salesforce. Salesforce currently, for me, not the best buy in my opinion up here. For a long-term portfolio, of course, very, very good, but for a short-term trade, little bit overextended. I personally like Salesforce below the $200 mark. It was there for a while earlier in the year, but now getting slightly extended for me in terms of current pricing for short-term trades. But on a forward basis, guys, this is not looking too bad at all, right? If you take their forward EPS as an example, let's say they have 1 more quarter to report. We'll have that data in February. Let's say all goes to plan here. You'll see that the current price here currently stands right now at about $252. So let's just do some quick math here. So if their EPS in 2023 ending is going to be $8.15, you just do 252 divided by 815. Very, very quick forward PE ratio. It's sitting about 31 right now. And if you take their 2024, it's even slightly better here. 2024 divided by 950, right? That's going to put you at about 26.5 price to earnings. So fairly decent price to earnings here, but their growth in revenue is slowing. Salesforce was known to be a company that usually exceeded 20% in revenue year over year growth, but has been coming down ever so slightly. And that's the gist of this report here, guys. So Salesforce shares jump on better than expected earnings report. But the problem is Salesforce growth rate has slipped in 2023 as businesses look for ways to cut costs. So I'll remind you, if you don't know what Salesforce does, they are one of the market, actually the market leader in terms of client relationship software here. So And whenever you call into any business that has a call center or whatnot, the business needs to keep track of those calls and needs to keep a client profile. And what Salesforce does is they provide software in order for these businesses to be able to keep track of all client interactions. You can leave notes on their platform. Salesforce will customize the platform to your business. This is a software that I used a lot when I used to work at the bank here, and is a very, very easy to use software, and it provides a lot of good insights on customer interactions as well as statistics here. So very, very good software as a whole. But the problem with them is the revenue, guys. Revenue growth is slipping here, and it's looking more like a mature company than a growth company here. So revenue increased 11% from 7.84 billion a year ago. 11% is still good, but not good enough. Salesforce, which has historically expanded by well over 20% a year, has seen its growth rate slip in recent quarters as businesses have looked to reduce spending due to economic uncertainties and high interest rates. So as we've been saying with a lot of cybersecurity plays in the past, guys, and a lot of these software plays, these B2B, business to business plays, is that in an environment where companies are worried about profit management, when they go to cut costs, they usually cut costs on software that they're purchasing from other businesses to make their own business run more smoothly. So that is why Salesforce has had a slight little decline here, but the stock has been performing very, very well on the year, guys. You can see here that they've been saying it's up over more than 70% this year. Very, very good, outperforming the NASDAQ, of course. And they are doing a great job here of cutting costs. In January, the company announced that it was cutting 10% of jobs, reducing some office space as part of a restructuring plan. Salesforce on Wednesday raised its fiscal 2024 forecast for operating cash flow growth to 33% from 30%. So they're still doing decent in terms of cash flow and whatnot. But if you guys didn't know here, there is one slight little issue with Salesforce, and that's the fact that they run a decent amount of debt. So obviously their free cash flow, cash equivalents are fairly decent, but you can see the long-term debt has net expanded here in the past couple of years. And on a quarterly basis, they haven't been bringing it down that much even this year as well. So that's the one little thing that stands out on Salesforce, but their investor presentation was a very good presentation as well. You can see total revenue up year over year, 11%. Current remaining performance obligation is up 14%. So a lot of new clients that they're adding here as well. Operating margin is also doing a lot better. As I showed you guys, their profitability has now gone up here, and their EPS is also going to the upside. Very, very good operating cash flow, up a substantial amount, guys, here. This is really, really good performance here, bringing back the EPS higher and the operating cash flow much higher as well. Now, if we come down to one other thing that I wanted to show you is their non-GAAP expense profile. So you can see that their expense profile is getting slightly lower every single quarter. So they're doing a good job of managing their expenses to the downside. And it is obviously adding to their profitability, but the main thing that you want to see from this company is not expanding their profitability from a reduction in costs. They need to be increasing revenue substantially as well. So we'll see how they're going to mitigate their drop in revenue growth rate. But the one thing that is great is that they did repurchase $1.9 billion of shares in Q3 fiscal year 2024. So very, very good share reduction here over the course of the year by Salesforce. That's what you want to see, the company repurchasing a lot of its own shares. And you will see that they repurchased, of the total $20 billion authorized, they've already repurchased $10 billion here. So this $20 billion does expire midway next year. So we will see if they renew the terms to that, but they've been doing a great job here of really reducing their share count. So fairly decent report by Salesforce, but as we pointed out, a few red flags in their revenue growth rate. And notably here, the return to profitability needs to be a bit more consistent, and need to see them use a bit of that free cash flow, eliminate some of that long-term debt before it becomes refinanceable in the next few years. So that's pretty much it for Salesforce. Now let's jump into our second one that I have for you guys today, and that's going to be DollarTree. So DollarTree, as you guys may remember here, was one of the two dollar stores that we do take a look at on the channel here. The other one would be Dollar General, and you will see that they've had a decent recovery since the lows of October, but both stocks still remain significantly off their all-time highs. So Dollar General still off their all-time highs by roughly about 50%, and DollarTree doing slightly better, slightly off their all-time high here. Well, not slightly, still off 30% off their all-time high, but manifesting decent rallies. Off the earnings report, you can see but they have been up around 6% in the last 2 days, so recovering nicely. It was a fairly mixed report. They are still struggling with consumer discretionary items. So this has come up a lot in this earnings call and last earnings call as well. It's just the consumers are not spending as much on discretionary items. So they are spending still on core items, items that they really need for the household, but any other of the little trinkets, the ones that Dollar Tree and Dollar General really make a lot of their money in terms of markups and profit margins on, well, unfortunately, they haven't been selling enough of those. And we've seen that in reports from Walmart, from Target, and from a number of other retailers, Home Depot as well. And it's just been something that's been plaguing the entire retail industry. So let's get into the report. They did have a double miss. So they missed on EPS and they did miss on revenue as well. You can see that, and we are at a decent technical level. I am going to start to playing these dollar stores for recovery story a bit more aggressively, guys. So if we do get some daily consolidation, Dollar Tree perhaps below the 120 all the way down to about 110. This little sweet spot down here is where I do want to be playing this company specifically, and Dollar General, I do want to be playing them a bit lower. If I can get them once again back in the lower 120 down to 110 range, if we do have a pullback, I will be looking to play these a bit more aggressively because we are coming to the end of the interest rate raise cycle, and we are coming to the end as well, as been forecast by other companies, coming to the end of the consumer cyclicality, meaning of them spending less on discretionary goods. Maybe only 1 or 2 quarters of safe spending remain. So now maybe the time to start positioning in these companies for the recovery story. And we see that right here. Dollar Tree stock falls on soft earnings. Lower income consumers are hurting. So that's very normal. Non-favorable economic conditions and high interest rates really have people squeezed. So lower income households are hurting, the company said. They posted the double loss here, so we won't read that. But slowing demand in Family Dollar, which is another one of their brands, weighed on the company in the third quarter. Same-store sales at Family Dollar grew by 2%. Not very high same-store sales, guys. You want to see excess of 5%. At the company's banner Dollar Tree stores, they were up 5.4%. So at the real banner Dollar Tree brand, they were up 5.4%, but Family Dollar, which really caters to the lower income households, is only up 2% on the quarter here. So Dollar Tree is attracting a higher income demographic looking to stretch their budgets. Meanwhile, Family Dollar caters to lower income households, many of which are hurting under the current macroeconomic conditions here. So we'll just read this quick note by the CEO here. We experienced softening trends throughout the quarter, particularly in October, as lower income consumers responded to the accumulated impact of inflation and reduced government benefits. We saw a notable pullback and spending, particularly in higher margin discretionary categories. So this is the kicker. And the other thing that's been plaguing the dollar stores, and namely Target brought this up as well, Walmart touched on it ever so briefly, is the industry, what the industry calls shrink. This is just a fancy word for saying theft. So unfortunately, still being plagued by theft. Shrink will remain high throughout the fourth quarter, the company said. In the third quarter, gross margin fell by 0.2% to 29.7%. Partly due to elevated shrink, as well as product recall and the fact that people have been buying fewer discretionary items, which tend to carry higher margins here. So they're still on the recovery story. These two stocks are on the recovery story, may be decent for a look into here for a recovery story, but it will only be a small nibble for me, mostly going to do it with options. Still a very, very decent level in terms of historically. Usually these dollar stores always tend to recover as part of the economic cycle. So that's pretty much everything that I had for you guys in terms of our earnings. Now let's get right into our technical analysis, and we're going to do the monthly recaps right away. So SPY, decent day. So SPY initially on the day was a bit red on the morning and recovering beautifully into the end of the day. So I'll remind you, we were always looking at the 12 EMA on the 4-hour chart, and the bulls have been playing amazing defense, guys, on the 4-hour chart. And you can see on this daily, this is looking like a beautiful little daily bull flag here, still not pulling back into my target area. The target area for the pullback zone is 451 all the way to about 440. Still not going into that area, guys. The bulls are holding clearly above this area using our higher line, this one little line right here, previous high right here, 453. That's been the area that the bulls have been using as a defense zone. Very, very good. And this is only due to the rotation of financials and healthcare holding up your S&P 500. So on the daily, bulls still in complete control, setting a nice little daily bull flag here. On the weekly, bulls still clearly in control. Any pullback would just be for a weekly high or low. But here's the thing. on the monthly. The monthly is looking absolutely gorgeous. Monthly uptrend, well in motion. So we are going to be targeting December and throughout January and February, we are going to be targeting the all-time highs. So guys, this is looking very bullish on the longer term timeframes. Monthly, the weekly looks beautiful as well for continuation. The bulls are in absolute full control. That's exactly what you want to see. QQQ pulling back ever so slightly. They did have a nice recovery into the end of the day. QQQ was down almost 1% at one point, 1.5% as a matter of fact, from their pre-market all the way down to the bottom of the day. And they did recover very beautifully to end only down about 0.25% from yesterday's close. So great recovery by QQQ, mostly led down by major tech. There was a lot of technology names that were green on the day, but it was really big tech pulling down your indexes here. Google, Amazon, AMD was even down almost 3%. We'll get into that in a bit. So the QQQs are still looking to set their daily higher lows. So we had 1, 2, 3 legs up here, and now we are starting to challenge, guys. So the higher lows are set at 383.70. Lose that and you lose your daily uptrend. The bulls are really doing a great job of playing defense, reacting from my green box area, which is all the way 387, all the way down to about 374, this whole area right here. And you do have your 12 EMA on the daily. Nice little bull flag still. I wouldn't say there's any red flags, and QQQ is just currently bouncing right now off of your previous 52-week highs, using that as support currently. Let's take a look on the weekly. So on the weekly, everything is looking very good as well. If we do continue to pull back for the first week of December, perhaps, well, we're just looking for a weekly higher low for further continuation, guys, into the end of the year and early 2024 as well. No red flags whatsoever. The bulls have created a ton of space. We're just going to look for follow through. And on monthly as well, monthly is looking absolutely phenomenal. We have surpassed our previous 52-week highs. So the monthly uptrend is now set to the bulls. We've been waiting for this all year, and they've finally done it in the end of the year now in the month of November. Monthly uptrend is set. We haven't had a monthly uptrend since before the market fell off a cliff here early of last year, 2022. So very good recovery by QQQ bulls all year. Bulls are in absolute full control of every single major time frame, and that is really what counts. Just the daily is still kind of consolidating sideways, but if the bears can't put in too much more damage, guys, we're just going to be looking for weekly bull flag, shallow little bull flag in maybe my green box area, and then further continuation of the upside. Very good performance. Now XLF and XLV did a great job here today, guys. Great job. When Big Tech was taking the day off, you can see this here. Big Tech had a nice little breather on the day, and XLF and XLV absolutely crushed it from the morning, just going straight up pretty much. You can see that on the hourly time frame, just continuous hourly uptrends in motion right here. So you love to see it. The bulls are in full control. 1, 2, and now 3 beautiful legs up here. Your daily higher low is set 35.19. Any pullback is just going to be for another daily higher low and for further continuation. We are now approaching the infamous area of resistance. I'll pull it up on the weekly. Weekly is looking absolutely gorgeous. The previous 2 bear legs down now completely engulfed, and even the past 3 bear legs down completely engulfed now at this point by the bulls. Any pullback is just going to be for a weekly higher low for further continuation. So if we run into a bit of resistance here, this red box right here, you can see we've been dealing with it for the past year and a half at this point, right? 36 to 37 is the area to watch if ever we top out here. Just going to be looking for a weekly higher low, potentially coming back and resting on the high 35s right here in terms of your support, and then due for another break above. I'm looking for that break above potentially into next year as rates continue to cool down. And on the monthly is looking absolutely beautiful, still in a tightening range, but now we're getting a nice break to the upside. We will need to clear 37 if you want a clear monthly uptrend to be set. Now still within this tightening range, but very good momentum by financials. Now let's move down to healthcare. Give me a quick second. So healthcare, guys, healthcare looking beautiful. We were looking for continuation. 1, 2, 3 legs up. Now our 3rd leg up starting. You can see SPY and QQQ already had their 3 legs, right? 1, 2, 3. QQQ had it as well. XLF is currently started. 1, 2, 3. And now XLV with its 3rd leg up currently starting. So we did break our previous highs, 131.17, breaking it ever so slightly. 131.39 was the high today. Going to be looking at this level. This is the 132 mark. Break 132 and you're really off to the races, guys. We're talking higher 133s, 134, 135 at that point. But for now, very good reversal by the bulls. Bulls setting a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful defense. Little bear trap here at the 12 EMA. So bears are now trapped and the bulls are running with all their money. Daily breakout looks absolutely beautiful. Just keep an eye on your short-term overhead resistances, but bulls are in full control at this point. On the weekly as well, the weekly looking very gorgeous. The bulls finally engulfing your most recent move. So any pullback, guys, will just be for a weekly higher low for weekly uptrend confirmation. We're still looking to set up for the weekly trend change on a lot of these indexes. So a lot of these indexes haven't had any weekly pullback, any meaningful weekly pullback, and XLV is just the same. We will be targeting a weekly overhead breakout here. We are now above our weekly moving averages, so we will see if that continues into the month of December, but looking very, very healthy in terms of healthcare indeed, no pun intended. Now, on the monthly, we are going to be looking for the monthly recovery as well, still in a very, very, very tight range. You remember me talking about this area down here when we were at the lows in October. Well, now we're starting to recover it back. So we will be targeting 136. If we do break the 136, we have a very, very, very good chance of recovering all the way back up to the all-time highs. And XLV has been maintaining this very tight range for the better part of the last 2 years. That is exactly what you want to see. Healthy rally for years and years and years, right? Almost 10 years worth of rally. Consolidation at the top. At the very top of the move. So healthcare set up beautifully, in my opinion, for the end of the year and into 2024. And that is pretty much it. Now moving on to the Russell. Russell still trapped, guys. Still trapped, trying to break up to the upside, but still kind of trapped in this range, but looking very, very good. It is still a bull flag breaking out to the upside at this point, right? So 1, 2, and now tighten up, right? So we're just looking for that break to the upside. In my opinion, we will get it. As long as this rotation is healthy, we can get the breakout to the upside, in my opinion. So daily, still a very tight range. You can see it better on the 4-hour time frame here, right? Very, very, very tight on the 4-hour. Just riding this 12 EMA, not losing it too much. That is exactly what you want to see by the bulls. And I forgot to say, QQQ lost the 12 EMA, right? QQQ is one of the only ones who's lost the 12 EMA in a significant way. I'll get to that on big tech because we've been bringing this up a lot in the past week in the videos. So IWM not losing the 12 EMA on the 4-hour time frame yet. Very, very tight range, tight on the daily as well. Just looking for the continuation of the breakout. Weekly looking very, very healthy. Nothing to say, guys. Everything looking very, very healthy on the weekly breakout. It's currently struggling still with that 200 weekly moving average right here at about 181.5. So we will just be looking for the weekly breakout to continue. As long as your daily bulls are in full control, this weekly move is not done. If it does finish, we will just be looking for a weekly higher low and then weekly trend change to the bulls. On the monthly looking very, very healthy, guys. We did react very beautifully in this zone, which we were targeting 168 all the way down to about 158, reacting beautifully from it. Once again, it was previous all-time high resistance. Now it's been support for the better part of the past year and a half, and that support played out beautifully again. So now just looking for that monthly recovery. We'll get to it, but if you want the monthly uptrend to be set, it will not happen right away. We're going to have to take this in 2 steps, but IWM Russell still looking very, very decent. Very good play off the all-time highs, still representing about 26% off the all-time highs. Growth stocks, going to be time to start positioning soon. And now lastly, the Dow Jones. Dow Jones, absolute monster day, largely contributed by CRM, the CRM gains, because they're in the Dow Jones. 1.5% to the upside. Look at this beautiful move. 1, 2, and now 3 legs up for the Dow Jones. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful move on the daily. Daily bulls, full control, clearing our area that we were watching, 35,600. Now completely clear of that range here. So we will be using it as support. If ever we do come down from this new area here, we'll just be using it as support for further price continuation of the upside. Beautiful control on the daily time frame by the bulls. No red flags in sight other than the fact that we're slightly overbought on the RSI, but you guys know that this can stay overbought for quite some time. Even if the price just moves sideways, that will do wonders for cooling off the RSI. But now the daily higher low is set 35,000 is that area to watch. Any pullback over 35K is just for potential higher low into further price increase. On the weekly is looking absolutely phenomenal. 1, 2, 3 legs down, engulfed in one single 5-week move by the bulls. Love to see it. That's why I say If we do pull back, target this previous area of resistance. It was resistance a lot of the times in the past. You'll see if we put that line right here, it's come up a lot in the past here, guys, right? So 35,500-ish, 600-ish has been resistance in the past. Expect it to act as big support now that we're through it. So I don't expect the bears to be able to get through that very easily. But if we do start coming down, any move down is just for a higher low on the weekly for further price continuation to the upside into the end of the year in 2024. Value names looking very, very, very good for a recovery here. And on the monthly, the bulls successfully protected their monthly uptrend. So we were watching it last month in October. I was saying 31,500 is the level to watch here. That's your monthly higher low. And now the bulls have protected it. The monthly uptrend, now that we've cracked this monthly uptrend, is now resumed, guys. We've been waiting for this for a while. Monthly uptrend now resumed, full control by the bulls. They control the monthly, they control the weekly, control the daily, full control by the bulls. No red flags whatsoever. Barely. Look at this, guys. We're literally only 2.5% off the all-time highs for the Dow Jones. Beautiful performance by the bulls. Now let's move down. Crypto we'll do tomorrow because I have a lot to say on crypto. Let's move into big tech right away. So big tech, a couple of things to mention about big tech, and we will cover the 4-hour time frame, the loss of the 4-hour on a couple of these names and how we're playing out for it. So Apple, another little day of consolidation, up about 0.31%, but you can see Apple in the past 2 weeks, beautiful job of consolidating sideways, guys. We never got the extended move to the downside. Bulls have been playing extremely good defense. Look, waited for the 12 EMA to catch up, moving sideways, bounced right into it today and reacting beautifully from it. And that contributes to your RSI coming down lower. So bulls in full control of this time frame here. We are still looking for your daily higher low for a future continuation of the upside here. Apple, I liked Apple better in the 185 area, so not dipping enough for me. But congratulations to the bulls for holding on to gains, looking very, very, very healthy. On the 4-hour time frame, you will see that we lost the 12 EMA, but it was hugging it like a magnet. It wasn't a big drawdown like I'll show you on NVIDIA here. So Apple doing a great job of hugging that 12 EMA on the 4-hour. You can see they rode it, and now they did it. They refused to lose too much of it. Today, open lower, and now closing back above it. So beautiful recovery by Apple intraday here. No red flags whatsoever. Still in search of that daily higher low for further price continuation here. Beautiful, beautiful move by Apple. And weekly consolidation is continuing at this point, guys. This is just a weekly bull flag, right? Beautiful move by weekly bulls here. Any move lower is just for a weekly higher low for further continuation of the upside. Apple set up amazingly for the end of the year and into next year as well. And Apple on the monthly, absolutely gorgeous, right? Looking for the monthly uptrend, a break of your all-time highs, 198.15. We'll do that. We'll be looking for that in December or January. I do believe Apple is going to be able to do it in the next 2 months because their earnings were absolutely amazing. The guidance, right, is going to be right on par with this year's as well. So expecting decent growth rates across their lines of business here. Just looking for the continuation on the monthly time frame. Everything's looking good for Apple, guys. The bulls are in full control of the monthly. Monthly uptrend is pretty much underway at this point. Full control of the weekly, just looking for the higher low, further continuation, and full control of the daily as well. No red flags at all on Apple. Now AMD looking fairly decent as well. We did have a decent day of pullback today, and I did make the most of it by writing a 115 put for about $1, almost $1 for next Friday. We'll cover that in tomorrow's portfolio update. Today is going to be a bit long because we're doing the monthly recaps here, so we'll keep it to just this portfolio update tomorrow. So AMD, bulls obviously in full control of this daily move up here. So any move down was just for a higher low. Anything above 118 was just looking for a daily higher low, reacting beautifully from your 12 EMA here on the daily time frame. Bulls still in control. If you lose this higher low, however, and the bears roll over and set the daily downtrend, that's fine. Why is that fine, guys? Well, we're just looking for the weekly higher low as well. And keep an eye, guys, on the level. I've been mentioning this a few times. 115 down to 110 is pretty much my sweet spot. It was a very, very big area of congestion in the past, and I will be looking for the bulls to use this area as support in the future as well. So if we do lose a bit more on AMD here, no fear whatsoever, guys. We are just looking for the continuation of the weekly uptrend, weekly higher lows. I loved AMD's earnings. They were absolutely gorgeous. No red flags for the company whatsoever. 2024 guidance looks beautiful. Bulls are in full control of this weekly time frame. So if ever we lose more than this, well, just looking for the weekly higher low for further price in continuation to the upside. And on the monthly looking absolutely amazing, guys. Monthly uptrend is now well back in motion again after 5 months of consolidation down right into your monthly moving averages into my sweet spot. We played AMD so much in the past 3 months, guys, and we've made a lot of money on the company. So we'll continue to do this as long as AMD presents us nice opportunities. Monthly trend is looking beautiful. Obviously need a break of 132 to continue this leg, but looking well underway in terms of momentum. Monthly, full control by the bulls. Weekly, full control by the bulls as well. And daily time frame, still full control by the bulls. No red flags. Amazon down, but ever so slightly, guys, 0.16% to the downside here. We're still looking for our daily higher low. I'll remind you, anything above pretty much your 141, it's pretty much one whole area right here. So about right around here, 141, 141.50 is just going to be looking for a daily higher low. So tons of space for the bulls to still consolidate, but they are playing good defense between this area. 145 down to about 140 is the area. It was your previous 52-week highs, and now the bulls are using it to play defense. Also, your 12 EMA is right there as well on the daily. So bulls in full control of this daily time frame as well, right? 1, 2, 3 legs up at this point. Small little legs, but still Amazon performing very, very well. Any move below is just looking for a daily higher low for further price continuation. Bulls looking very, very, very healthy. On the weekly as well, weekly ever so slight consolidation. If we do get a bit more into the end of the week and into potentially the first week of December here, I would be targeting this area as well, right? 145 down to 140 is pretty much the area. I don't think that bears are going to be able to get through this very, very easily at all. So if we do consolidate a bit more, in my opinion, a definite buy the dip opportunity for me. Going to be looking for it lower than 140 for some options. So bulls in full control of the weekly time frame as well. Any move down is just for a weekly higher low. Anything above 118 is just for a weekly higher low, guys. So beautiful recovery by Amazon. And on the monthly's looking amazing. Well, in November, we actually did the monthly breakout. So we do have the continuation of the monthly uptrend. New monthly uptrend, first time since this whole area of consolidation. Actually, it's the first time since 2020. This was range bound. This is your monthly downtrend. Now finally setting the monthly uptrend well above your monthly moving averages. You can see the 12 about to cross above the 26. No red flags whatsoever. Amazon is in full monthly uptrend mode. So bulls, full control of the monthly, full control of the weekly, and still full control of the daily. No red flags, guys. Even though we've been losing a bit of our shorter term timeframes here, healthy consolidation. Now, Google, give me a quick second. Google, one of your names consolidating more than most here. So you will see this is my example on the 4-hour 12 EMA, right? So we were watching for breaks of the 12 EMA on the 4-hour on all of major tech. Now, Google has been one that unfortunately has lost it in a substantial way. You can see 4-hour downtrend is set, which leads us to believe that daily consolidation is well underway. They did also lose the daily higher low. The daily higher low was 133.55. Bears not yet with the daily downtrend. Daily downtrend would need something like this. So this is just daily consolidation, healthy consolidation. They filled this little gap that was here, right? The gap around 134 is now filled by the bears. So going to be looking just for price to eventually bottom out. You can see that our lower term timeframes were severely overbought. I do have an option play on Google right here at 134 strike. If I get a sign tomorrow, 134, going to be very happy with that position indeed. Going to be looking for Google to recover. Even if it does pull down ever so slightly more, that's fine. I will be averaging more into Google. Google looking very healthy, just very healthy daily consolidation. Daily consolidation, right, means weekly consolidation at the same time because all of this was one move, daily move higher, and one weekly leg higher. So now weekly consolidation is underway. We are just looking for a weekly higher low. Anything above pretty much 121.50 is your weekly higher low. Google looking very healthy, guys, rejecting nicely from your weekly 12 EMA right now. So we're going to be looking for the bulls to play some real good defense here in the higher, in the lower 130 area. So 133 where we are currently, all the way down to 130 is where I could see price getting, and then just going to be looking for the weekly uptrend resumption here. They lost the weekly uptrend right here. Bears unable to set the downtrend, right? Lost it, but now bulls looking to regain that weekly uptrend. So everything looking healthy, guys. Daily looking healthy. Bears in short-term control of this. Weekly looking very, very healthy. Bulls in full control of this. And on the monthly, guys, monthly still looking very, very healthy for Google as well. Google just looking still to set that monthly bull flag for future bullish continuation here. I don't see any red flags on this chart whatsoever. Bulls are in full control of the monthly, just looking for the monthly higher low. I think October lows are going to be that monthly higher low. We should be able to push higher December and January and really continue the rest of this monthly uptrend into the next few months. So Google looking very, very good. Bulls in full control. No red flags, just short-term, very healthy consolidation. Now down to Meta. Meta also with some short-term consolidation here. So you can see Meta losing the streaks of higher highs and higher lows. Your higher low was 327, right? So 1, 2, 3 legs up. Now we've lost the most recent higher low. They cut it ever so slightly down today, all the way down to 322, but this was the area that we were targeting, guys, in the previous reaction videos, right? We were targeting this whole area right here, 327 all the way down to about 320 as your area where the bulls are going to react to. You can see they reacted nicely from that 4-hour 12 EMA, right? You see what happens? They broke it. Now they broke it convincing fashion. 4-hour downtrend is set by the bears. So first time since this whole November rally that we've lost the 12 EMA. So that means your daily consolidation is finally underway. Bulls losing the higher lows, so they've lost the daily uptrend. So now Meta will need to bottom out and set a bit of work here to regain the daily uptrend, but very healthy consolidation, guys. Meta was on a heck of a tear, so very healthy consolidation. You can see this on the weekly. Weekly, just looking for a weekly higher low. Anything above 279 is just looking for a weekly higher low for further price continuation. Keep an eye, your 12 EMA on the weekly is 317, and we targeted the 327 down to 320 area. So let's call it 327 down to 317 here, going to be your nice little pocket where I do believe that the bulls are going to step in for some support. And on the monthly, you guys know monthly's looking very, very bullish. Meta has completed its breakout to the upside here on the monthly time frame. So monthly uptrend is finally set by Meta. Any drop above 274 is just looking for another monthly higher low, but I don't think this monthly move up is finished. I think that the month of December should also be a very decent month. Meta not too far off of your all-time highs. So full control by the bulls on the monthly, full control on the weekly, and on the daily, just some healthy daily consolidation. Keep an eye on the lower levels here. Microsoft looking very, very healthy as well. Microsoft consolidating today, bit of a consolidation day as almost ending flat. And you can see on the daily still protecting some very nice gains. So 1, 2, 3 legs up here by Microsoft. Now in slight consolidation mode, but still just grinding away at this 12 EMA, guys. Very beautiful, powerful move by Microsoft here. Ever so slightly off the all-time highs. Any consolidation, keep an eye on your 12 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, guys. If we continue to lose this into tomorrow and maybe Monday and next week's trading, well, you will know that daily consolidation is underway. At this point, guys, anything above 367.27 is just looking for a daily higher low, but lose that level and your daily consolidation is well underway, and we will be looking for weekly consolidation as well. So on the weekly, you can see Microsoft very healthy. Weekly uptrend is set. Any move just for a weekly higher low here, anything above 309. Or sorry, this one right here, 325 is just going to be for a weekly higher low, guys. Consider this area right here, right? They do have some very, very decent price support. This whole previous higher low area, 368, down to your previous all-time highs, 360s, right? So just keep an eye on that area if we do trend lower. No red flags at all. And on the monthly, guys, absolute crush by Microsoft to the upside here in the month of November. Beautiful monthly uptrend now set by Microsoft. So tons of these names setting your monthly uptrends here. So beautiful continuation by Microsoft bulls. No red flags. Monthly chart has been recaptured by our bulls. Full control in the monthly, full control in the weekly, and now daily still in full control. No red flags. And now NVIDIA breaking down. NVIDIA, one of our first major tech names to set a daily downtrend here. So look at this, guys, right? Series of higher highs and higher lows after this move have now been taken out. Bears now with a daily downtrend. So daily downtrend means your weekly consolidation is underway. And you saw what happened on the 4-hour. We lost the 4-hour 12 EMA here, this yellow line right here after this phenomenal rally. Lost it after earnings here and then haven't been able to recover. And today you finally got the flush down almost 3% on the day, but that's okay. NVIDIA with a lot of space here. We are currently reacting from our 465, 460 area of previous, this was previous resistance. So it should be now acting as support. That's why the bulls are reacting from here. If we continue to drop, guys, everything looking healthy, even though we have a daily downtrend that the bulls will eventually need to reverse, well, it's just very healthy weekly consolidation, guys. Look at this, right? Very healthy. Anything above 395 is just for your weekly higher low for the weekly trend change attempt. So keep an eye on this area right here, guys. We are currently in the area of support. 465 down to roughly 450 is going to be this whole pocket. Really good area of previous congestion, area of congestion in the past as well. So keep an eye on this on the weekly, guys, in my opinion. Bulls should be able to put up some defense. No red flags whatsoever. Just looking for weekly higher lows for further price continuation. NVIDIA with a very bullish 2024 ahead of us as well. And on the monthly, barely cracking above here, all-time highs, right? So NVIDIA here does have a monthly trend and underway here. Obviously not closing above here, but they did set the monthly uptrend. So it will remain to be seen if they can continue to move higher here in December and January here. No red flags whatsoever. Monthly bulls, full control here. Weekly bulls still decent full control. And on the daily, bears now with short-term control. So bears only with the short-term timeframes. That's why I would not be too worried. Now let's get into our three last ones. Tesla had their CyberTruck event today, so perhaps the rise on Tuesday was pricing in the event already. Obviously off their weekly highs of 252. That was a very nice day yesterday, consolidating ever so slightly. So daily uptrend after this daily range, right? Daily tightening range and then break to the upside. So now we're looking for the Tesla bulls to protect this area at all costs. Anything above 231.50. Watch that as the line in the sand level. I need to see bulls protect this area, protect your moving averages, and now continue the daily trend to the upside here. So good job by the bulls of recapturing your daily uptrend. Now just need to see it break higher here, guys. But on the weekly, everything is looking very bullish. They've got exactly where I wanted them to get, almost the mid 250s. So now this weekly move has put enough space for the weekly bulls. If they do start consolidating a bit more, perhaps into next week, well, we're just looking for a weekly higher low, anything above 193 for weekly uptrend change to the bulls. So now Tesla, a bit of mixed sentiment. Bulls control the daily. The bears are still in control of the weekly until the bulls give us a weekly uptrend here. So a bit of mixed sentiment here, but on the monthly, this is the important one. Monthly higher lows are most likely set here. 195, unless we get a disaster in terms of macro or disaster in terms of Tesla delivery numbers on January 1st. I don't really see us retouching those lows down here in the 195. So monthly uptrend is well protected by Tesla. At this point, just looking to set leg number 3 in motion, start recapturing as much as possible in relation to this roughly $300 high right here. So monthly uptrend is looking good. We're now out of my sweet spot, creating a nice little demand zone, right? Nice little demand zone out of the lows right here. So looking for the bulls to really protect this area with their lives in search of that weekly higher low. And what happened with Tesla here, guys? Well, Tesla, if you didn't see the event today, Elon Musk was absolutely hilarious. As always, asked somebody to throw a baseball at the car window. You guys know what happened 4 years ago when he threw a rock at the window, the glass shattered, and it was a big meme. But now very, very good. So here's the specs, right? 2.6 seconds, 0 to 60, very, very quick. 11,000 pounds towing capacity. They actually showed this versus a F350, an F350 and the F150 Lightning at the truck pull. So they put a very big trailer behind it in sand, and they have to pull the trailer as far as possible. And the CyberTruck outperformed both of these models. The F350 is your leader in terms of that. So they beat the industry leader in terms of the truck pull. Very, very good. They obviously have the armored glass. They have bulletproof doors. They actually showed a video clip of them shooting a high-powered rifle at the doors, and the doors are indeed bulletproof, guys. The glass didn't shatter from the baseball either. So very, very good. High payload capacity. So just showing the functionality of the truck as well. Right. So it's a very, very visually appealing truck as well. Very, very futuristic concept. Elon Musk, delivered a beautiful speech today, right? He was kind of a bit all over the place as he usually was, but it was nice to see a more upbeat Elon Musk than you had in the earnings call here. And I'll leave you with this short video that they left pretty much at the end, where they actually compared they actually did a quarter-mile race on the drag strip against a Porsche 911, which are known to be some of the fastest cars in the world on the drag strip here. Don't know if it had launch control on, but this was pretty much the race to be had here. So it was a very, very funny race, and I'll show you guys why. So if you didn't see this is a bit of a kicker. This is when Elon Musk says, but that's not all. It beat it, but not only did it beat it while pulling another Porsche on a trailer. So that was pretty hilarious, right? That really sold the truck to a lot of people here. So very, very good quarter-mile truck time while pulling a trailer with another Porsche 911 beating a 911 straight. So that was fairly hilarious. Very, very good day by Tesla as a whole. So we'll see if they can convert some of that Cybertruck hype into growing sales. I personally believe that they can, and the guidance does show as well that the ramp is going to be fairly significant into next year. Now, lastly, our two last ones, guys, Palantir and PayPal. So Palantir, very good recovery here, guys. So you can see that we were talking in the last few videos that we did lose the series of daily higher highs and higher lows. Loss of the daily uptrend. Now it's up to the bears to prove a daily downtrend, but the bulls recovering nicely, creating decent space off the lows. Any move lower now, the bulls need to protect this level right here. 1860 is going to be the line in the sand. Lose it, daily downtrend is set. That's fine. Tons of space on the weekly, but protect it and could just reset the daily uptrend for another leg. So since we lost the daily downtrend, since we lost the daily uptrend here, series of higher highs, higher lows, lost it, that means your weekly consolidation is underway. Palantir with tons of space to consolidate. We were targeting, $18 to $17 as a likely area of pullback. It didn't quite get down there. It got down to about $18.71 before bouncing in the last couple of days here, but very, very decent amount of space for Palantir bulls to be working here with, right? So target this area if we continue to fall on Palantir here. $18.20 all the way down to about $17 is the sweet spot for me, in my opinion, for me to be buying more shares. Writing some options as well, tons of space, anything above 1445, just looking for a weekly higher low. So bulls control, bears in short-term daily control. We'll see how this line holds up here. On the weekly, bulls in absolute full control. And on the monthly, you guys know the drill. First monthly uptrend in Palantir's history, right? No monthly uptrend here, monthly downtrend confirmed. Now, monthly uptrend confirmed by Palantir. S&P inclusion is on the table. So we'll see what happens with that, guys. Looking very, very healthy for Palantir. S&P inclusion happens, guys. Very possible that we do get further rallies here. Further rallies will take us pretty much north into this very big area of congestion, guys. All the way up $22 to $26 is the zone where we would be encountering a lot of resistance. So if we do get another monster rally, another leg up here on the monthly by Palantir, expect us to run into some resistance in that zone. But as of now, monthly bulls in full control, weekly bulls in full control as well, and the daily bulls just looking to protect the capacity from the bears of setting a daily downtrend. But even if they do, tons of space, guys, so much space. And now lastly, PayPal. PayPal doing a good job of protecting gains, guys. So down 0.62% on the day here today, but we had a good week on PayPal. Yesterday was a phenomenal day on PayPal, got all the way up into my $60 range, which is what I wanted. Now encountering a bit of this resistance, right? So a bit kind of normal behavior here by PayPal stock, encountering a bit of resistance here, but looking nice. Daily uptrend is continuing, guys. Anything above 55.23 is just going to be for a daily higher low for further trend continuation to the upside. So now that we have a lot of space here, we are above our moving averages, and we have retracted a lot of this weekly move down. Remains to be seen. Any move lower, can we set a weekly uptrend on PayPal, right? As the same thing we did right here. Looking good. Just need the bulls to get back above this weekly 12 EMA. You can see we've been trending below the 12 EMA on the weekly for so long, guys. Just can't break above and stay there. But I am expecting PayPal to do good things over the next month, 2 months, 3 months here. Going to take a couple or quarterly earnings reports to really get us back probably into that $80 range. But that's kind of the range that I'm expecting once this thing really gets going. No red flags as of yet. Just watch this line on the sand level 55.43. Looking for PayPal to protect these gains. Just looking to continue. And on monthly, guys, monthly, just one of our tech names that's just not looking very good at all, right? Monthly is still obviously a very big monthly downtrend here. So they need to reverse the lower time frames first. Bulls in full control of the daily now. Not yet in control of the weekly, unfortunately. No weekly uptrend in sight yet. And on the monthly still a downtrend. So just looking to kind of take this at a slow pace with PayPal. We will see how the stock continues to perform. So that's pretty much everything that I had for you guys today. I hope you appreciated the monthly recap. Sorry for the long video. We do the monthly recaps once a month. So hope you guys were able to get through it just fine. As always, consider liking the video if you enjoyed the content. We always do these after the close pretty much every single day here. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as well, guys. We're almost up to 500 subscribers, so close. So definitely hit that subscribe button if you would be so kind. And lastly, if you have any question, guys, stocks, macro, options, anything you like, leave them down below in the comments and we'll be sure to cover them as soon as possible here. And tomorrow we will be doing some earnings, guys. I haven't forgot, Michael, you wanted Snowflake, so we will be doing Snowflake tomorrow, and we will be also doing Ulta Beauty that came out today. So both of those tomorrow, Friday after the close, because not much on Friday. So hope you guys had a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow after the close. Take care and peace.